Hi, my name is Dave Lynn, and I'm a professor in the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I just wanted to give you a quick look at my research group. So this slide is just here to provide a little bit of a background about me. I grew up in Beaufort, South Carolina, which is a little island on the East Coast, just south of Charleston, South Carolina, and just north of Savannah, Georgia, if you know where those are. I went to college at the University of South Carolina and went to grad school out in California at Caltech, and then back across the country to do a postdoc at MIT before coming here to UW-Madison in 2002. What inspired me to pursue grad school? Interesting question, ultimately fairly complicated, but if I'm being honest, at the time, this was a while ago, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I just knew that I wasn't ready for the real world quite yet. And it wasn't until I got to grad school and went through that I developed a deeper interest in research and a desire to go into academics. My research group is focused on the synthesis and characterization of soft materials, surfaces, and interfaces, nanotechnology, biotechnology with applications in a range of different areas. For fun, I like cycling, and Madison has some of the best roads and terrain in the country for what it's worth, depending on the kinds of things you like to do. And I also play guitar, or at least I'm trying to spend some time getting better at it. Two of the things I like best about UW-Madison are the collaborative research opportunities and the exceptionally mild winters. Okay, so here's a look at my current research group, and one of the things that I think you'll notice is that there's a mixture of students from both chemical and biological engineering and from chemistry. And this is something that's by design and something I really like about our group. And that is that there's a broad range of interests and backgrounds with the students, and everyone coming in interested in the same kinds of problems, but perhaps looking at things differently or bringing a little different perspective or a different piece of the puzzle together to get things done. Everyone's expertise and interests also tend to rub off on each other, from the chemical engineers to the chemists and from the chemists to the chemical engineers. So students in the group wind up leaving with an ability to think more broadly and to interact effectively with people in other disciplines. So as I mentioned a few moments ago, my group is interested in soft materials, surfaces, and interfaces, and quite a bit of that involves the synthesis of new materials, usually polymers, but also small molecule amphiphiles and liquid crystals and other kinds of functional materials. We have a long-running interest in the design of surfaces and coatings from the standpoint of trying to control structure and function and interactions with other materials at a range of different length scales. We have a deep and abiding interest in drug delivery and controlled release and designing new types of materials that facilitate control over that. A growing area of interest in the group also relates to understanding, controlling, and exploiting processes that bacteria use to communicate with each other to design new types of materials that can prevent surface fouling and infection in biomedical and in other important commercial contexts. So my group collaborates quite a bit around the department and around the campus, and this slide is meant to highlight some of that. In the center here, you'll see a graph showing all of the ways that faculty in the department collaborate with each other, and highlighted in the green circles are all the different connections between my group and other groups. And those, you can see that those connections are in a lot of different areas and with a lot of different groups, ranging from collaborations with others in interests in materials, where you might expect it, but also with interests in biological systems, or with expertise in molecular simulations and modeling, or in the systems area, looking at ways to use machine learning, for example, to accelerate the design of new materials. Essentially, all of my students are involved in some type of collaboration, either within the department or on other parts of the campus, and I've highlighted a few of those in chemistry or over on the medical school side of campus on the bottom left. Collaborations are a huge part of our research, and they're a really important part of the student research experience as well. As I mentioned, essentially all of my students are involved in some type of collaboration with another group. So the information on this slide gives an example of one of those kinds of collaborations, with some recent work coming out of our interactions with the groups of Reed Van Lane in chemical and biological engineering and Helen Blackwell over in chemistry. And two of our students who led the work are pictured here. This work is part of our efforts to understand the self-assembly of bacterial surfactants in solution and at interfaces, and involves aspects of physical characterization of materials, insights into biological systems, and work at the level of molecular simulations that no single group would be able to do efficiently or well. So this is a piece of that work, which is really fun to do, and is also connected in other ways to work that we do to design new materials like liquid crystals or lipid bilayer membranes that can interact with bacteria in unique ways. The work we do in our group is funded by a broad range of federal agencies, and we're affiliated with the NSF MRSEC on campus that provides many opportunities for students to interact with other research groups and also get engaged in public outreach. Many of the students in my group are also involved with training programs, NIH-sponsored training programs in biotechnology or the chemical biology interface that provide other opportunities to interface with students from other disciplines. We're also very active in patenting our discoveries and have strong connections over at the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation to protect and further develop our intellectual property so that we can see it move toward practical applications. Finally, I've just at the bottom here included the logos of some of the places where recent group members have gone to work after receiving their PhDs. So I hope this quick overview has given you a feel for my research group and the connections both within it and between it and other groups. My contact information is included here on the slide if you have questions or want to get in touch, and we're all hoping to have a chance to meet with you or talk to you soon.